Namaste. Do you have anything to ask? Is there anybody who has got any questions to ask? Anything you wish me to discuss? Anyway, having asked, you have not even responded in the group, not even send a specific request, except one person asked for something related to yesterday when I said I used the word sample. So yeah, I did not mention anything on sample during any of the classes. So probably that would have made him to ask me to explain what is sample. There are, in statistics, generally you hear the word sample survey. Survey, the word itself always come with the word sample inside that, because if the total data is called population, you cannot make a study with the whole population. Assume that somebody has to study how effective is the online classes which is happening in either a specific university or in the whole universities in India. If it is in the whole universities in India, we are sure that we cannot go to every university and then ask every student. Even if the study is in a very specific university, we will not be able to go to every student in that university. Even if it is an electronic survey, it is impossible. So what is generally done, or maybe on the subject study we wanted to see which subject it is effective, which subject it is not effective. So generally samples are chosen. How samples are chosen? Using sampling methods. What are the sampling methods? The whole data is called a population, in which you segregate, you distinctly identify some very specific group of people or group of institution for your survey research. So in the research, you don't include the whole population, you include only a selected portion of the population. That selected portion is called the sample. It depends on what sort of population. Population in the sense, not number of people. The data set in statistics is called the population. So how the group is selected? What is the criteria used for sample? Depends on what research you want to study. Assume you want to study the effectiveness of the e-learning platform, online teaching and learning for students of specific economic group, specific area. Then the research is focusing on people who are economically background, either low or high, or maybe some specific region. So what is the criteria, what is the condition for the research where the researcher is defining, that will become the definition for deciding what sample or what population, in that what sample I have to select. So the sample depends on the population. The population depends on the research objective, what for I am doing. Sampling, there are different methods. If you take the whole population as a bigger circle, and you have an inner circle which is the target population, the whole students in India becomes the bigger population, in which I am only looking at engineering college or many management students only. The management students will become only a subset of the whole set. So the whole population is a bigger circle. Management students become a smaller circle there. And then I must see whether I am accessible or not. See, for example, my study is on how effective is online teaching. Then definitely those people who are participating must be available on online. Otherwise, my research is not how many students are on online or not. So my objective is here, how effective is that? So that means first I believe that, or my assumption is, my survey is only on those people who are accessing internet, they are available on internet. Therefore, what will happen? I am not looking at the whole population. I am not looking at every student who is part of the study. I am looking at only people who are accessing internet. Then I can see how effective is the online. So the whole population is the bigger circle. Inside that you have got the target population, which is the smaller circle. Inside that accessible population, how many people can get it? From that I will decide the sample. So sample is a subset of the whole population, which is containing my target population, in which, so you'll have to write a bigger circle, draw a bigger circle, write population there, draw a smaller circle inside the target population, and put a smaller circle inside that accessible population. Inside that you have smaller circle, which is sample. So sample is maybe 1,000 of the whole population. Sometime it can be 1 out of lakh, 1 out of 1 million, depends on the sample size which I decide. Then every sample which I collect, every information which I get, I will not study. There also I will choose what I have to study inside that. From there I will choose some criteria again. But I cannot go for second survey. So sample is generally inclusive. Maximum number of people where I can accept in who will participate in the survey. Survey means either it is question answer, it could be electronic, it could be mutually meeting people, it could be a questionnaire, it could be some telephonic interview, all that is possible. So subject to research, the research participation, and who will be very important will be one subset of a sample, sometimes the whole sample. So the whole process of selecting the bunch of data which is essentially required for me to get information, that process is called the sampling process. So whatever so far I have explained is called the sampling process, right? In that we have got a frame or a population which is within the sample chosen, and that's called a sample frame or sampling frame. There are homogeneous sample or heterogeneous sample. See, for example, I am studying how effective is the online teaching and learning process, in which I can only select the students. I can also select students, teachers, parents, and some public who has got interest in this. Therefore, such sample is called, where every category is involved, is called a heterogeneous. Homogeneous is only one category, either only teachers or only students, or maybe only people who belong to one specific region, one specific economic background, gender related. I can categorize, or maybe age wise. Heterogeneous can be every age, homogeneous can be only youth. Okay, so define my population, determine the sample frame, then select the sampling technique, determine the sample size, and I will start doing the sampling process. That is what is called the sampling process execution. That is how the samples are selected. These are all different types of sampling methods. Different methods could be the cluster method, random method, systematic method, standardized method. Random sample is the best always, because I am not deciding who has to be selected, right? There can be convenience. Based on convenience I can do sampling. Maybe only cities I will do, because I cannot go out of cities if I am meeting somebody. So the city is selected based on my convenience. It can be quota. I will decide in every district I will have 100 people. So there is a quota given for each. Or maybe I will decide 100 girls and 100 boys. So I am deciding again quota. Okay. But they are not generally called as probabilistic. They are called non-probability conditions. Because selecting the quota, selecting my convenience are not based on probability, based on non-probability standard, right? It may not influence your survey at all. So probability sampling methods can be identified, chosen like this. When you say probabilistic chance selection of sample, everybody has equal chance. So I am not saying only these sort of people will be collected. So when I say one city only I will do, only one college only I will do, I am selecting it based on my convenience. So there is no probability. Okay, equal opportunity is given to everyone in probability. Equal chance is given to everyone. Randomness is there. There is no specific criteria added. There is no systematic or very decisive administrative systemic sampling which is done there, which is totally mostly random, right? Otherwise the elimination of bias is what is essential for a normal probability sample. That then only it can be called as probability sample survey. So random sample is what is generally very good. For example, lottery. You put everything in a basket and then take one paper out of it. That's a lottery method. You can choose from somebody. Assume that you stand in a bus stop and then collect people. There is already a selection which you have done. Those who are coming to bus stop only you are doing it, right? Assume all the ID numbers in a university, roll number of students, and I select some roll number based on random selection. Then it becomes a real lottery method. Use of computers, different computer methods can be used for random selection, etc. Right? There are advantages and disadvantages with using sample, without using sample. Different methods which you are using. There is a very elaborate descriptions and studies. If probably let me check, I can give you some very good website where you can read all of this. The minimum knowledge of population is essential. Very good analysis data which you can collect based on whether the low frequency you are looking for or high frequency you are looking for. The risk is different based on different data sets, the sampling technique. You may not get the way you wanted, things may not come out. Assume that you are choosing in a line, there are people standing, and then you are choosing every fifth fellow. That's totally a random process, because you don't know who is standing on first, second, third, fourth, fifth there, right? So you could decide what is the criteria which you wanted to use to select your sample. The selection process, it could be identity defined in the population like roll number, then define the sample size. So if there are 1000 people, you want 100, probably you will select every 1 and then 10, every 10 with a gap interval of 10. Or instead of starting from 1, you can start from 3, it becomes another sample. So the randomness of selecting the first one then a very specific interval. That way also you can do. But in case if the samples are saying that the first 500 only you are going to do it, then there is not randomness. Out of 1000 people, first 500 I will select. There is no randomness. Randomness should be the whole population you should take, and then in that you provide a very specific rule. Otherwise, how do you know? In some classrooms or some universities, they will put 1 to 500 for girls, 1 to 500 to 1000 for boys. So if you put such a condition, only girls will get selected, boys will not get selected. So it all depends on, you should look at the whole population before deciding what sample you want to, what criteria you want to define. That means assume that I want to do a survey in whole India based on economic conditions. I must have some idea about economic conditions in each state, so that I can define a better process, a better decision on my sample selection, right? So the sample is decided based on the population, looking at the population, whether I can access the whole population. Always it is nice to do any survey in the whole population. But why am I not doing it? Because sample, advantage of sample is it reduces my effort. It reduces the data which I collect. Therefore, it reduces the analysis time, reduces the computation time. Assume that you want to write an article based on the survey. If you have got 1 million people, it becomes too much. You will not be able to get any conclusion out of it. It is because the size itself is too large. But if it is collected only from 100 people, probably I will be able to make a conclusive decision out of it. Then whatever decision I conclude from the sample is considered as what the whole population is expecting or population is suggesting. So how do I decide that? Based on the credibility, based on the quality of the sample which I am creating. So creating sample is very, very essential. I am sure in the management sciences, when you go to study different interview methods, data survey from questionnaire, these sort of activity you will have to do it when you are doing a project, or in public when you have to do a real practice as a manager. In any business, sample survey is very, very essential, right? So in that sample itself, some people may give suggestions. Say for example, the TV viewers have to give suggestion. You are making people to suggest based on their initiative. So you have no choice to select who has to give reply, who has to give you suggestions. So such a sample selection is volunteer from the population itself. So you have no control. The population, the people, the participants will decide which data they are going to give. So such a sample is also there. That is called a volunteer survey, right? That they are not a probability. That cannot be called as probability case. Assume you are doing a survey standing near the school to meet all the parents and get some survey from the parents. Actually, what are you doing? You are deciding the parents are going to drop the children so that I can ask the parent. Generally, who will come? Only those people who are staying very close to the school probably will come to drop. Otherwise, the pickup van, pickup vehicle, the drivers will be who are dropping. So you are classifying. Assume that you are only collecting data from the people who are dropping the children. Probably those people who are not working during those hours only will come. So again your sample is restricted. So there are a lot of things to consider, think and identify advantage and disadvantage in the data collection process when you create a sample. So it's a wonderful question that somebody asked me. The population, you cannot take the whole thing. So what you do is you take samples. So how do I segregate samples now? Assume those who are dropping to schools by their parents. That will be one category. One will be those who are coming by vehicle. One will be the school vehicles or private vehicles. Segregate them. So I can make a different cluster. One class dropped by parents, another class by the school bus or maybe college bus, maybe those who are coming by their own. So I am making 3 different cluster. So I will have different samples also, not necessarily one sample. I will have sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, depends on the cluster. So each cluster I can again use the sampling methods like random sampling or systemic sampling. Identify and define the population, learn the characteristic of the population. Population means the whole data, and then decide what method and how I am supposed to select them. So this is how the selection process is done based on the samples, the sample methods. Generally all these are selected based on the easy handling, how better fast I can reach to the population, how effective is going to be my population, how costly is that, whether it is going to make more error, whether I will have to redo such things, or once if I can do, I can finish the whole thing. The effectiveness, accuracy, cost, error, these are all the criteria which I will decide for sample. So what does it say? The population, sample, sampling process, sampling type, the probability sampling and non-probability sampling, the probability features of sampling, types of sampling, how do I study. These are all what we have discussed so far. Okay. Now what is the purpose of non-probability samples, or where does it come? The non-probability samples like equal chance for participation, where or maybe cannot give a generalization. The particular group cannot be identified. If I am doing a pilot study, the sample study only, I am not taking the whole population, I am not taking a very specific sample, I am deciding I am going to study only this much, right? What is the purpose? Convenience, whether it is volunteer, the quota sampling, I told you, these are all different non-probability methods, right? The way I told you that you can stand near the school and then only ask questions to those parents who are dropping, then it is not a probabilistic, right? So why I do this? What is the advantage? When I select non-probabilistic, sometimes it becomes too simple and too easy for me. Therefore, I am not including the whole population. There are advantages, there are disadvantages for this. Such non-probabilistic, without a probability, not giving equal chance, fairness, randomness is not given, that sample is not reliable. Assume you conclude some result out of it. Assume I conclude the online teaching process is good or bad based on only contacting people who are living in cities, not considering villages, and talk about the whole India students are enjoying online teaching. Then there is a problem, because we know the rural areas in India have a lot of problems in connectivity. They have economic problems. They may not even have gadgets to connect. So such sample which I selected, totally being blind on some portion of the population, my sample selection is not perfect. Such a study is not at all reliable. So the disadvantage is when I don't do a very good sample survey, my result is not reliable. It is biased. It cannot represent the whole population. So every sample is supposed to represent the whole population. So mostly the study in any survey totally depends on the sample selection process. So in a study, in a survey where you decide something out of the sample which you collected, the sample survey has to be done very carefully. It's a great science. In probability study, sample study, in survey, the sample selection is a very, very scientific method which is to be used, understanding advantage and disadvantage. Sample should not be biased. Just because it is easy to select, you cannot select some sample which will not represent the whole population, right? Because you are concluding the result from the sample which you get as it represents the whole population. It cannot be generalized in some cases. Then such samples are not good. Fine. We spoke about volunteer survey and what else? Cost effectiveness. These are all something generally which I wanted to talk about. Quota sampling. I said you can have quota based on district wise, state wise, gender wise. All that you can decide how do you want to do the sampling, right? Now regarding survey research, how do you do the survey research? Gathering the required data is what is survey. I want to get some details. The effectiveness of online teaching is what I want. Then what do? I have to get to the people who are currently using online learning and teaching. I cannot take some sample which is collected maybe 10 years back. Suppose during the COVID time is what I am looking for. Then maybe I should start from June, July to December. Before June, people were only doing their practice, or people have not totally came onto online. So I cannot talk about effectiveness when the system itself is not in line. So the time period when I want to do it is also important. So when I do a survey, the mode of inquiry, how am I going to contact them? Assume I am talking to farmers. Probably I should not use a computer based methods because most of Indian farmers have not got into computer. So what method which I am using for getting the data collection? Online teaching, yes, I am effectiveness of online teaching, I must use computers or maybe mobile phones. But how many are there on online? I cannot use computers or mobile because the whole population who are not accessing to that is out of the survey. Then how do I talk about this many people in India are using it? So it depends on what is that which I wanted to do survey. Based on that I must select the sample. There are different names used like descriptive survey, exploratory survey, comparison purpose there is a survey, comparative survey, relation to identify, correlational survey. There are different methods, phenomena where my study defines what survey I wanted to use it. Okay, so each one of them you can maybe different types of survey, advantage, disadvantage, all that can be another set of study which in case of you wanted to learn more about sample survey, that is what you are supposed to look at it, right? I think that is good enough. Or is there any Specific question to be asked, probably I can answer. That's all what I have to tell you now. Generally, this is done for research based on some sample, to select some data, to select how good you wanted to describe. Is there any very specific questions? Probably I can answer, otherwise I am done. There was one question on sample survey. Those who joined later, how do you select a sample? That is why I described the sample. Otherwise, I am good enough for all of you. Thank you for being here. If you have any specific questions, you could ask. Otherwise, tata bye.